Hello, and welcome back to Simple Tech Reviews. This time around, we bring you the HUAWEN Android rearview mirror, DVR, and backup camera system. If you watch my previous video, then you'll notice that there will be some similarities between this mirror and the last, as they are very similar devices. You can click to see the video right here. This mirror is generally sold as an unbranded or generic device, but you can also find it under brand names such as Jingshan or Feixing. Again, this is an add-on mirror that you mount on top of your vehicle's stock mirror. Let's have a quick look at what comes in the box. First, you have the mirror, of course, the rear view camera and cable. Please note that this is not an infrared night vision camera. It does, however, have 4 bright LEDs which work okay. Then there's a GPS module, the rubber mounts, the always famous user manual, and the lighter plug for powering the unit. The mirror comes with the Android KitKat 4.4.2 operating system. It runs on an all-winner A33 quad-core processor, which is actually good, but as with the previous mirror, it falters by only having 512 megabytes of internal system storage, while it also has 6 gigabytes of built-in storage space. This time around, the 5-inch capacitive touchscreen is centered flush in the mirror, which actually presented a bit of an issue for me, and it has a resolution of 854 x 480. On the top, you have ports for the USB power, the rear view camera, your micro SD card, and the GPS module. And on the front side, you have the camera, which rotates and pivots so you can get a good recording angle. Although I wish they would stop making these with flashy metal colors that attract attention. And on the bottom, you have the power, left, OK, right, and many buttons for navigating the Android operating system. Thankfully, this time around the manufacturer included a more complete Android systems menu, which allows you to change some features like the horrid and almost unintelligible text-to-speech engine that ships with this unit.
Please insert the class 10 memory card before video or take photos. After
using this mirror for about 1 month, I'd like to give you my thoughts about what's good, what's bad, and what could be improved. Let's start with the good. This mirror is powered by a quad-core processor, which makes it perform tasks quite well and fast with little lag. The viewing angle of the camera is pretty good. It covers the entirety of my hood and a little bit more. And the backup camera works well, even at night with its 4 bright LED lights. And in comparison to the other model of Android mirrors that have the camera hanging down from it, which make it really apparent that you have something installed, this one is more discreet and it's a lot more hidden. Now, talking about what could be improved. Again, 512 megs of internal system storage. Like with the previous reviewed mirror, 512 megabytes for the Android operating system and your apps is just not functional. After just installing Waze and a third-party keyboard app, I was all but out of space and couldn't add anything else. The camera quality and clarity is quite lacking. Even though the viewing angle is great and it does record files in 1080p, you'll be hard pressed to read license plates or street signs that are more than a few feet away. This might have to do with a cheap image processor or a low bit rate for the videos. Also, for the backup camera, you have to wait until the operating system is fully loaded, which takes about 30 seconds. They could actually change this so that the use of the camera does not rely on the operating system being loaded, but instead that you can make use of it as soon as you start your car. The brightness of the screen could also be a lot brighter during the day. I did mention before that the screen sitting right down in the center of the mirror caused an issue for me, and that's because, let's say during a sunny day, the brightness of the screen isn't powerful enough to overpower the rear view. Here's an example to give you an idea of what I mean. They both have very similar levels of brightness, and that makes it difficult to focus on either one of them. And also, by having the screen right in the center of the mirror, I sometimes have to turn off the screen to be able to see behind me. I cannot just shift my head side to side like I could with the older mirror. And one last thing is that the viewing angle of the mirror could be improved so that you can see more behind you. And let's finish with the bad. The camera's night performance is atrocious. Even on lit streets, you'll be hard pressed to see anything clearly during playback. Objects that are very visible to the naked eye become almost indistinguishable in the video file. The battery is quite temperamental. Sometimes it lasts a decent time, other times it fails to hold a charge. And bringing this point up again, 512 megs of system storage. I know it's cheaper and it keeps costs down, but it makes no sense for the consumer. And for closing, I'd like to give you some of my personal experiences with this particular unit. For some odd reason, my particular device doesn't like that I run the DVR and the navigation software simultaneously. This makes my unit crash and reboot every single time that I try it. I can run them both separately just fine, but not at the same time. And I think it has to do with both applications wanting to use the GPS at the same time. This actually could be fixed with a software update, which I'm looking into with the seller. So overall, I would say that while this model improves on the processing power and aesthetics, the fact that the video quality is rather poor and that you're still stuck with only a few megabytes to install your apps, I would find it hard to recommend a purchase. You can always do away with the novelty of having the Android operating system and buy a cheaper mirror DVR with the backup camera for half the price or even less. Now, here are some sample clips from the mirror in day and night scenarios. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to contact us for any inquiry. I'll see you on the next review.